Hey everyone, my name is Neil Karski, and I'm the CEO of Patient Engine, a seven-figure digital marketing, lead conversion, and coaching agency for high-ticket aesthetics providers. And I would like to personally welcome you to the Aesthetics Millionaires Show, where we sit down with industry entrepreneurs to talk about their personal journeys and discuss proven growth strategies. My genuine hope is that through this podcast, we can create more success stories in this industry and help more business owners scale past their competition. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of Aesthetics Millionaires Show podcast. Today I got a special guest live from Miami. His name is Dr. Alan Araujo. He is the owner and CEO of Lux MedSpa in Brickell. Alan, thank you so much for joining us. You were Brazilian, right? Were you born in Brazil? When did you come to the US? Well, give us a quick background on Mr. Allen.
Sure. Thank you. Good morning. And I was born in Brazil, and I guess my parents knew that I was going to live here. That's why my name is Alan. It's not a very common Brazilian name, and I came to America in 1998, and then I went back to Brazil, and then I came back in 2002, 2003, and since then, so I'm more American than Brazilian at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, and then you're a doctor. So what kind of medicine have you practiced? How did you get into medicine? And then how did you get into aesthetics?
Yeah, well, I have a very interesting mix. So I did law school, and I studied one of the top 10, in the globe. And then I always had my passion for that, I thought. And then, but always, my family, they're doctors, and always I have that vein that I like it to see. And always I was with my friends, and they used, everything that happened, they used to, ask me. I'm like, why these people ask me? And then um, when I came to America, I started to do business school, and then I started to do real estate because it was something that Brazil was doing super well, and I was, with the, developers, and I started to do what, at that time, um, people needed. That was a Brazilian that live here, that speaks Portuguese and could get the connections. And then I start to be like, my history with the Miami history starts to be very much alike, because Miami is a baby. It's a city that's just happening. And I was getting into like the big, like, developments and shaping the city. And that's what really starts to make my life, knowing people and everything. And something happened in, like, when I was 30, 32, 30, yeah. And then I starts to be like questioning what I really want to do with my life. Well, I'm already telling a lot, but then what I did was I started to be more up to, like, to first laser. I wanted to actually, I wanted to have a purpose in my life, because I was making money, but I was not feeling that I was helping anyone. There was no legacy. And I think that when you start to see that, I was lucky enough to question, and it starts to move towards what I like it. And then I did not expect that was going to be exactly, what happened. But when before I saw, I was like already doing, everything towards like medicine. But then I did, when I, and then I went to Brazil. I stayed there for a little while because my mom had, cancer. And then I just was put in situations that I could not fight. I was just, a kind of seeing what was happening. And then I had something with my shoulder. I lost the move of my right hand, and every doctor said that I would not, have, because it was cartilage and was the shoulder, and I would never have my hand back. and and then I dive in. I was like, I was listening, but I was not getting it. Like, I knew that I was going to have my, just the way that I have now. Oh, actually, I have some limitations, but no one even can see for what, I was. And then when I came, back to America, I was, that's when I have, like, Lux Med Spa. There wasn't Lux Med Spa. And then I had like a business partner and a partner, and it was actually like more than one location, but I never want to be in the operation. And then I start to be, you know, more towards like always to think about the business side. And little by little, when I started to do like, my degree, then I went to school to really get the licenses that I needed. And then little by little, things starts to happen in the industry. Was not something that I choose, was literally something that I was brought in. And then today, I really, I did not expect that was going to happen this in my life. And I was getting, into this life, the more that I was, and then I was by myself because I don't have business partner anymore or partner. And this was the business that, happened in my life and changed totally like the purpose of my life.
Okay, so
And became
let's
my,
kind of let's review all of this.
yeah,
Let's review this. Let's review your story. So, you studied law. You realized it wasn't for you. Then you got into medicine. You studied
yeah.
medicine. What kind of medicine did you start out with?
So then here I did first electrology, and then I I did aesthetic, and then I went to, and then I started to do like a lot of into that because I didn't wanna, I was trying to deny it. I didn't want to do that. And because I already had a career, I just want to retire it. But then things starts to happen. And then I did my LMT, and then and then I started to be very much into facials, into like into the face and what you have to do. And here in Miami, because this goes by by state. So if you are like, I was just trying to get, you have to, when you have the business, you have to have the licenses. So then for the laser, you can have to be electrologist. And then for the body, and then I start to, so my spa, it is, the concept, it is to have what you, it's, it's like a day spa with the med spa concept. But I don't really have anything that is, um, I don't have anything that would not be in the natural way. So that's why I always went to this side.
So, okay, so so you're a doctor. You got all your licenses.
Well,
Let's talk about
I'm,
let's talk about two
yeah.
things, okay? Let's talk about two things
Hmm.
because you went through really fast, so I really want to highlight some things about your story. Um, you talked about purpose. So, what did you realize was your actual purpose?
When I realized, when it became my obsession, wasn't even, I would not think about anything but really about that, patient and the person that was with me. I did not went through this because of money. Money was not my driving force.
What was your driving force?
What I started to see was the way that I was treated, and the way that, in my opinion, we do not have anything that's preventive. So we don't think about our lymphatic system until you have,
Until things start to go bad.
yeah. And then what happened is, if you think about that in a healthy body, there is no disease. And why we don't think about that? Because we are not, we, no one teaches like that.
Right.
The thing that we
Because symptom
have,
management is more profitable.
yeah. And then we live a moment that we have a pill to do everything. Oh no, just take like, Ozempic or just like it's simple. I'm not here judging anything. I'm just saying that the simplicity, what make America great, make America vulnerable, the money. Because especially health insurance, they do not pay a lot of them to anything that's preventive. When if they want to really change that, they have to go to the base. And this was something like in the first one of the first interviews that I was giving was for the Wall Street Journal, and they asked me, since you know everything now about, like because like a lot of what I do, I believe that you do not need to do more than you cannot invent another person. You have to enhance the beauty that's inside you. And this is very beautiful to say, but how you do it? And then I show people how to do it because this is the thing. And I have like a little bit what my concept is with muscle memory. I just tell you that you have 66 muscles in your face and how you do with that. And that's when things start to change because no one teaches that. And then I really think that instead give a cell phone to our kids. We should, start to teach them how to wash their little faces. And I did this year. I went to, a kindergarten, and then it's amazing because kids, they learn everything so fast. And
So
especially, I,
I just want to, because I know you have a very beautiful way of talking. I think that's the Brazilian in you, and the stories are romanticized. I love it.
yeah, the drama.
I'm European, so but for the sake of just like for the sake of the today's episode, so and let me know if I'm on the right track. Your purpose was to make sure that you help people, you provide people with better level of care and being able to help them in a prevent not just with aesthetics a lot of times it's actually the damage management or overturning the damage. It's also being able to help them in a preventative way. Am I on the right track here?
Totally. Yeah. And actually I can say that today I'm the only place that I do that. That's why my place is, different. I'm not,
What
you
kind of
know,
services do you have, or protocols or methodologies or
uh-huh. Well,
devices that differentiate you, that allow you to stand out and be unique and do things a little bit more preventatively and holistically that a lot of people in your market, which is saturated as hell, don't have or do.
it's not saturated. It, is what happened is it's the way that you do and not what you do. What you do, you just get, you Google now and you can go. But how you do, no one can do what, we can do. Well, the first thing that I was when I went to this market, the first thing that I saw, because I I was like, let me see how is the database, because the business was already happening, but I was not, I was not my, my was not my baby. And then they say like, at that time, this was 5 years ago, like 15, I'm like 15,000. Because this is the number. Like my last project was Brickell City Center and 1,000 Museum, a $3 billion project and a $1 billion. And then my database was 120,000 people. I'm like, how come this place? At that time, I went to the operation and I was literally, I'm like, you have to change the system. And if you think about 5 years ago, we did not have a specific software for med spas or for spas. We have to get something that was a salon. If I'm mistaken, like maybe you are a pro here, was Vagaro was the one. But even though was a lot of glitch because it was for hairdressers. Today we have many. We have Boulevard, we have, but at that time we didn't have. But at that time, I start to see what people do, and when you know I have something that I don't think that anything is difficult. Always was thinking like what people are thinking, and do the opposite. You want to be the 99 or the 1%, and that's what I did.
I want to know. You're driving me kind of crazy because I want to know what makes you different. What makes you unique? Tell everybody what makes you unique because I know there's something there and I know there's an approach. I know because your mindset is completely different and I love that. And you have a very unique mentality of like, hey, do the opposite of the herd. And I really like what you said, like, hey, it's like the market is saturated with aesthetic providers, but there are there are ways to position yourself in a unique way that you kind of take yourself out of the general market or the general pool of providers. So
Yeah.
what makes you unique and different if you had to just set give me like three things that really differentiate you that allowed you to build a seven figure business as well while being able to help effectively help other people.
Well, because something that happened is I have to learn, unfortunately, how to lie before how to love. And this was very, and I think that, I never talk about this, like nobody never, threw me to that point, but this is what happened to me. And I am the person that I am today. When I look back, I see that 5-year-old boy, and I see that I could give a class in Harvard because I was being, you are trying to show yourself, and you can, I'm gay, but you could not be gay when, like, I am from 1979, and at that time was growing up was insane. And it's something that people these days, they just don't have it, thank God. My generation was the last one to really go through like major things. One thing, like, people used to separate the silverware that we ate. We don't see this anymore, at least I don't see. And and this make you very resilient, because people do not know what resilient is. I am writing a book since 2018, and I have to, because it every day is a new thing, and it's like storytells, and it is fear and or love. This is the two, feelings that move my life. And what differentiate my place from any other place is the way that I see people, because I see you, and people see numbers, and this changes everything. And I was thinking, how can I make sure that I am seeing everyone, that my team will see, because this is hard. If you do not have a system, and then you have to be organized. And the first thing that I did was, when I saw Google, I am 4 years ahead of everybody, because I do Google since the beginning. I'm like, from now on, nobody leaves this place without a Google review. We have to start to think about that. And I have never paid one ad. I am organic. And if you Google now Best Spa Miami, my name and my business is going to show up. And a lot of people, and when I went to speak for cosmetics, like in the summer, and they invited me to speak about build your brand, and I was like, build a brand. And then when somebody asked me like, how you build a brand, I'm like, just be excellent. Just how you do that. Everything, when I'm doing something, I'm here with you. I'm not checking text messages. I am not, thinking about, oh my God, no. And this is something that we do not, I don't see that. When I say is because I think that, if we, and this is something that doesn't matter where you are, if this is like real estate, if um, it's the lack of professionalism today. And to stand out, everybody, something new, everybody wants to be heard. I guarantee you that everybody that you interview, when you finish, they say, how did I do? Because we look for this validation and we don't think that other people do, and I do. And what differentiates me is that I act fast. How? I can see when I'm doing something that I wasn't, and I'm not biased. I know how to put myself out and let things happen and move fast and be patient when it has to be.
How do you how many staff members do you have, and how do you kind of train them or promote this like level of excellence that you have? Because I don't know. I assume you're not the only provider in your practice. Maybe you are. I would love to learn a little bit more because, like you said, there is a big gap in lack of professionalism, and I think providers also a lot of times think they're the most important, not the client, which is interesting because that's a quick way for them not to buy from you. But how do you promote this level and this standard of excellence in your practice? Um, and I know it all stems from you, so I just want to know what kind of advice can you also give to other practitioners to be able to elevate to that level too?
People forget how much they paid, but they never forget how you treat them. This is something that it is, you, you could not be more accurate. But we, as like humans, we live like with instant gratification. And this is so the same thing that happened to us in life happened to our skin and to everything that you do. So your brain was, that's the way that you learn, and that's the way that we do. So when people want to have what you have new, but they don't know what, your base, your foundation to be there. But then, okay, so you know what, you want to sit here and do it. And then you see that they cannot do it. The first thing is, that's why I never stop studying. You have to be always looking for, make sure that your qualifications meet the, because opportunities, they will come, but are you ready? And people are not, but they think they are, because this is what's happening. And what I learned is, I never know anyone when I hire them. I know when I promote and when I fire. And I have to be I have no, I am fast when I have to fire people, and I'm very slow when I have to hire. I
I,
want to
there's
listen.
so many people that I've interviewed said the same thing. So
Yeah. Well, listen, but so then let's get I was listening to, you know, Stephen Jobs. I The thing is, you have to look for a mentor. That's the key. And I was very lucky
who was your
to
mentor?
have, well, my Gary V, he doesn't know, but he is my mentor, because people think that people think that your mentor has to be someone that of, and I have, Katie Stoker, that she invented the 1-2 lashes, that is the magnet lashes. She was the number one Google, still at this days, product in America. And so she's somebody that I see every month, and they are special. And what is special on them? So what and I love to read books. What we have these days, it is, I'm not going to say lazy. I'm trying to look for the word, but it is the instant, people don't know how much you did, or and it's every we have never had so much information. Anyone today has more information than Bill Clinton had in the White House. Why you don't use it? Because you want to know something very, like, just to summarize everything, ask ChatGPT. If you want to, really be. But if you don't, get your phone today. Anyone that's listening, if what you're seeing is trash, you are trash, because the algorithm was made to get what you are. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. So if you throw in the universe things that it's not, what you want, but that's what you want. No, you have to become what you want. And this is something that it's not, well, for me, it has to be natural. And
Okay, so let
that,
me let me just summarize a little bit for
yeah.
for for a guest. So what you're saying is like, hey, I need to be the best I can be. I need to provide the best care for for my patients as much as possible. Focus on their results. Then that's going to allow me to be the model example also for my staff, and I need to make sure that I hire the right staff that are going to um, align with that standard of excellence and with my mindset, and then I'm going to hold them accountable to a higher standard, so then it trickles down to staff, so that way we can all together be kind of aligned, right? And it starts from us, right? It starts from us as leaders, as owners as well, um, which is good. I always tell my girls, I have 3 small med spas, and I always tell them like, if our clients aren't getting the results that they want, we have to understand if it's us or them or both, that are maybe not following the right protocols, and then figure out how to get them to be happy. Because, like you said, their experience is extremely important. And I like what you said, that people forget how much they pay, but never forget how they were treated. So if we can treat them, but while setting realistic expectations, because people are crazy these days too. Um, that if we can do that, though, um, we'll be able to have that continue and play in our favor. Let me ask you this one thing. So. I love that you said, I'm a paid ads guy. And I talk about paid ads a lot because that's how I scaled my agency. I scaled 1,000 other businesses. I scaled my med spas that way. But I love I love that what you talked about being organic. When people Google you, come up number one. On the first page as one of the best, or even the best med spa in Miami, which is a crazy market, very aesthetic market. So I want to know, and I know you talked about the significance of Google reviews and everybody coming out of there with positive experience, and the 5-star Google review, super important. So I'm glad you were leveraging that, because that's a big part of organic strategy. Tell us though, I want to know just really quickly, tell us how you were able to, like you open your doors. How were you able to, leverage organic? Any best practices, any lessons that you can highlight that really helped you to be impactful and build a large patient base that was very loyal to you? Because that's important. I think organic takes time.
Mhm.
It takes a lot. It definitely takes time. It takes a lot of time and sometimes financial resources. For paid ads, it's more like it's more financial, because you're pay and play basically. So let's talk about that, because I'm huge in marketing and sales. That's kind of the world I really swim in a lot. So I want to know. Tell us how you were able to, and then I want to know, when did you open your practice? When
In
locked?
Well, that's a great. It was. it was 2019, but I was not involved in 2020. So I went through the pandemic. That was, you know, like anyone would give up.
When did you hit your first seven-figure year?
Um, last, no, it was like, well,
23?
23.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
you hit
But
it in 23. You for first 4 years, I know you had business partners, and you went on your own. Um, what one like marketing wise, what one thing would you attribute your growth to? One thing.
social proof, social proof.
Okay,
And this
before
is
and
some,
afters.
uh, and this is something that I did since day one. If you see when I and I think that this is what, made me do. I say that I succeed, in what I did before, because succeed for me is like when you are consistent and committed. Whatever you do, you're gonna do well, no matter what you do. But I am successful today. I don't make the same kind of money that I used to make. I used to make way more, but today I know that I am, I feel that this is the reason for my existence is to be able to coach, people that's coming, and to be able to see, people, and to touch people, like the energy that you have when you're touching someone. And this is something that the touch becomes secondary when anyone that's coming to see me, I will, first of all, one night before, I put that, whoever's in the schedule, my energy, I do Reiki, I do everything that I can to make the energy high. And this is something that I don't see many people doing. I don't. And whoever say that they do, I even have my little, ended up being my house. I have my sanctuary here. And I pray when I leave my house. I pray for, before the person get it, I pray, because it's a human. And the difference between what a chef does and what we do is that the outcome of our guests, it's in their face. That's what that's your image is in the in face of many people. And align with cosmetics, that is the line that I choose, that is clean, clinical, and luxurious. I say, like, I hesitate a little bit because some people have a problem to say luxurious, including some of, like, of the own cosmetics. And this is the thing that I guess, in 2007, in the worst crisis that we had, in America, I that's when I did my first million. Like, I was 26, and I'm like, where is the crisis here? I can And then, every I saw like Phantoms, like Maseratis, and then people like, America is gone. I'm like, where? And you go to Brazil, I'm like, these people have nobody told. So I just didn't watch TV, and I was able to, at that time, um, six people, we sold $150 million. And that's when, and people are like, how did you do? I'm like, how you did not do? Because people are dying to sell. You just have to find the buyers. And at that time, I was already thinking about the 991. And then I'm like, 991. And you just have to, whatever people are doing, you have to not invent, but reinvent yourself. And I can give you two examples now of what people don't do like in business that I see, and I'm trying to help them. I'm like, don't you see that? That's easier than anything.
What are those
But I
examples?
can, well, I I know. So we have twice lymph fluid than we have blood. We have your heart that pumps your blood. And what pumps your lymph fluid? Nothing. But you can breathing and exercising. That's why you're in shape, so you can do it. And what people want, especially, and I became very feminist as well, because it's brutal what happened to ladies. Like they leave is a roller coaster, really what happened. And how I learned that, because I saw my mom, that she went, through some, and then you become very like, because you see, and like that's not normal, because my father, it didn't happen to him. So you start to think about things, and we live in a society that we do not, it's not the way that, especially with the equal rights, what is not equal, but then society wants to show us that, and we just, because we want to be validated. Oh, I don't, we do, everybody does, and then you just ended up not seeing. But daily, I think that it's the power of the one more that you do, and that, it's another thing that I have as well. But just going back to the business, so how many Pilates studio or yoga you see marketing the fact that they can give you the solution. Think about solution. People think these days about the tools. Oh, so then I have the Google ad, and you are, listen, you're a genius, because you have, this is a gift that, you can speak, and this is like, you say like, yeah, I'm more than, no, you are not. You are what you are. This is what I say all the time. You're not what you want. This, you are that. You become, and not the opposite. You don't, I cannot be you, because people these days, instead mirror new, they want to be you. Listen, man, you cannot be me, but hold my hand and let's do this together, because I can help you to go there. And
So,
that's when,
so the first thing I picked up was marketing solutions instead of or solutions to problems. You know how to solve people's pain points. What would be the second thing that you think people aren't doing correctly that is really hindering them from growing?
they're not committed. They say that they are, until you have the first. Listen, sometimes, do I have to tell you, things hit you hard, and then you have to be very, you have to have a lot of faith to have a business. To be a business owner in America, you have to have a lot of faith, because you do everything. If you say that you don't do everything, you are not a business owner. Or maybe you got, things from your family. Listen, it's all great, but when you don't have, like I didn't, actually they need my help, and so you have to do everything, and you always think about what put you there. and and again, and then you start, that's the moment that you need to have mentors. Another one, Oprah. you know I just remember, like, stand still, things will happen, but if you have your mindset, that what I said before, and you know where you're going, keep moving. You're not going back, keep moving. And and people cannot keep moving when things are very hard, because when, I think that life is a video game, and business too. When you're about to change the face, something happened, or maybe I'm in the Mario Brothers. You had to get the mushrooms, the green one, otherwise in the next phase you would have to have that. And that's when things get this, things get very twisted, because if you don't have the base, sometimes you just have to go to phase two again. Sometimes you have to go all the way back, because you don't learn. And this is what it happened these days. It's the And then I'm so, like I think that Google Ads, I don't even have. I know that I was doing, my analytics, and I never put, Google because I don't have, and I'm not gonna have, because I today I don't need it. No, I don't need it. I will need one day, but not yet. And then I see like Groupons. I never even look at that. Because that's, you're selling your, especially when if you want to build a brand, you just have to have the pay. If what you do is unique, and if you believe in you, you should not, you should stay with what you have. And and that's when things change. Because, why people do not do, or why they do too many things these days, because nobody tells them that your, your I don't see anything that's not impactful and positive. I don't let anyone say anything about themselves or about anyone in front of me, and I'm very proud to say that. I cut gossips. I do not. One thing that I fire immediately, if I know that I do not get toxic things around me. I don't. And how you do that? You do not even start. Because I guarantee you that when you know that someone's like that and people come to say things, they don't even say, they don't have what to say. So,
Dr.
then,
Allen, we're gonna be we got just a couple more minutes left here,
yeah.
and you've given a lot of really insightful advice that I think it's very esoteric and a lot different actually than some of my other conversations. But if you had to give one big piece of advice to other people who are looking to grow a seven-figure aesthetics practice so we can continue to elevate this industry, what would be that one massive piece of advice? I know you talked about a couple of things before this, but to kind of finish off this conversation based on your experience going from legal to business world to aesthetics to doing things in a holistic preventative way, what would that one big piece of advice would be?
Well, they should look for you, like, not you, but like an expert in marketing. We live in a it's not social media, it's social interest.
Mm,
People have to move fast, because otherwise they will die, literally. Like the business will die very fast, very rapidly too. And the CEO or the founder that thinks that they have to be in the cashier, think about the pennies that's there, he's going to be gone too, unfortunately. Because today, if like the power of you having someone like the online, you need to have your name, and you cannot have a beautiful website that's invisible, and people have that. And how you optimize, you need Google ads, but you need someone that knows what they're doing. Because what
yeah,
I see these days is like, and when I say somebody like you, because I know that you know your, you know, yeah, you
you
know
can
your
say,
thing.
you can say.
Because people want to have the instant gratification, or they say like, oh, we're doing, or even worse, many people, they still have the niece of the brother of the mother that she just graduated from high school, what is great, but they keep paying $500. You're not gonna get anything. And they wanna, no, and it's beautiful, like, if you see, it's like the colors and everything. And people are still talking about the color of the website, when there's something so big about it, like, that is what really work is beautiful, but are you invisible? So why you're thinking about that? And if you do not understand a little bit about SEO, or if you don't, hire someone that does, and ask them to teach you a little bit what it is. Not only to do everything, but to tell you a little bit what is about. Because then you will understand that you need to have the seven big social media. You need to have them, and you need to make sure that but I don't like it. It's not about you like or not. If you have your business and you want to be successful, you have to have that.
Yeah.
because they help each other.
Yeah,
And
and
that
we're
doesn't,
competing for attention as well. We're definitely
yeah.
competing for attention. Dr. Allen, this has been absolutely amazing. We're gonna have to do another one of these soon. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you or network with you?
Yeah, they can find me. Well, I am in the heart of Brickell. It's by the SLS Lux Hotel. And then if you go to if you Google best spa in Miami, you're gonna see Lux Med Spa Brickell. Not the sponsored ones. They pay actually for me to be there organic, but you're gonna see I am there, and then you know I have my YouTube as well. It's all Lux Med Spa Brickell, and then I have mine and TikTok. I have all of them. Some of them because I do myself, so I have to focus more. And lately has been YouTube. And you know something? I did my third live on YouTube, and this one I had 14,000 people, and I was teaching because we are going to the to the pill season, and just to just get to one point that was very interesting. And people with the instant gratification, they think that peeling is chemicals that you do, but what I do is metabolic. So I work your skin from the bottom up instead the top down, and this is what many people don't know. And it's so amazing because you see that no one does, because there's one reason, because the keywords is not favorable. If you see the search is not big enough, so people don't do it because they want to copy. And that's what I did with my business, because I had, another name. This is for another episode. So instead, people like, are you crazy to get your domain? I'm like, I will be a keyword. And today, there's more Lux Med Spa. If you see Lux Med Spa, they have to, people are helping me because they are opening domains because of my name. I became a keyword. And how you do that? Then another, this is something that we for another episode. But stop to see like on people when a keyword, someone start to do that, start to do something amazing, master it, one thing, and then that's going to be a keyword, and everybody is going to search for you, and for someone that wants to see, Google as well Jeff Hoffman. He's the CEO, I think, I don't know, bookings, booking.com. And that man, he's older, but he's younger than me. I saw every time that I see the things that he says, and it starts to look for podcasts or for what you want to be, not what, think about your time. Everything that people want is what? Time. Why you waste your time with things that's not taking you anywhere? I don't. And I cross check myself during the day. When I see that, I'm like, oops, this, Alan, are you out of your mind? Go back. Because I think that time, is the only thing that we cannot buy. We all know that. So why we don't give more value to that?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to wrap up this episode. But guys, if you have a facial aesthetic spa and you want to check out Dr. Allen on YouTube, should certainly do that because I love the like you said, the in and out approach instead of like going from externally to internally. So that's definitely something that I'm sure you could educate a lot of people on. But I really appreciate you coming on this episode. Like I said, we're gonna have to do another one because there's a lot to talk about. But Lux Brickell Med Spa, check it out. I know next time I'm in Miami, I'm coming to see you.
Yeah, no, actually, I will send you. I have a little device that the name is Alan Deep Pore Cleansing, but because you start, and I will send one to you, and they say Alan one, but it is something that's interesting, and I will be sending you one. And but thank you. I think
Thank-
that is great what you're doing, and this is what we need more. Like I did not have you to be watching, so I have to get my mentors. It's not from, because this is new. It's so interesting. It's new that, you're putting yourself and seeing real, this is real people, like
Yeah.
what you did, how you did, some people from the basement, and like,
Yeah.
a Brazilian. And you see that if you believe in what you do, the only thing that can stop you is yourself.
Amen. Well, thank you so
Right.
much, Dr. Allen. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Bye bye.